Well, hello out there. If you haven't met me before, I've appeared in a couple other videos with my wife. My name's Oliver, and I am training to do a through hike of the Arizona Trail in less than 50 days. I'll be leaving on March 25th. Today is February 7th. I think so. And yeah, I thought I would bring you along for the ride, which started a few weeks ago, as I began to train for this endeavor. 800 miles of walking. It's a lot of walking. And the only way I train for walking is to walk. My options for walking where I live are roads or snowmobile trails. So I'm taking a snowmobile trail. Now, to be very fair, this isn't my first training walk. The days of leading up to this have been actually probably too cold. I didn't want to risk bringing the camera out into the really, really cold temperatures. Didn't know if I would break something. But today, you can see we got some lovely snow coming down, which is usually a sign that the temperature isn't actually that bad. We're hovering around -9 right now in degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, sorry. And a little bit of wind. You can see the snow going a little bit sideways right now, but compared to how it was even a few days ago, this is very nice. Where exactly am I, you might ask? Well, it's snowy. You might have been able to tell from the my use of metric that I'm probably not in the United States. That's correct. We're up here in Canada, and my particular location is on the East Coast. I just stopped recording to let a snowmobile go by. So yeah, from Mexico to Utah. So it runs 800 miles, and yeah, there's a lot of high points to it. A lot of people think of Arizona as being, you know, just a big desert. Well, there's actually mountains there too. There's high plateaus and rivers. Those rivers are very popular in the desert. But to give you a quick rundown of some of the highlights that I'll be seeing on that trip, the trail starts at the Mexico border, right next to Miller Peak, kind of like the first high point in the Huachuca Mountains. And so I'll be taking on Miller Peak within a day of getting on trail. Then after that, kind of goes through a hilly area for a while until I cross the interstate near Tucson, and then head up into the Rincon Mountains, where the high point is Mica Mountain in the middle of Saguaro National Park, which will be very exciting. It's a beautiful park. You might be able to guess. Big saguaro cactuses there all over the place. And then after we top Mica, come out of the park, go down again through another hilly area, and then up Mount Lemmon, another big mountain, where there's actually a ski hill. Although I don't know how many weeks it operates a year. They do get snow there, but maybe it's only on the ground for a month or two. So after Mount Lemmon, goes down to some hilly terrain, and then down to the Gila River Valley, which I think is the low point of the hike in terms of elevation. Gila River area is often very hot, even in the springtime. And then from the Gila River we head up into the Superstition Mountains, near Lake Roosevelt, which is a big reservoir. And those take us up onto the high plateau where things kind of get flat for a while. There's lots of pine forest up there. And obviously, once the plateau ends, you're at the Grand Canyon. So the trail does include the Grand Canyon. We go down and then up the north side. The interesting thing is, because it's often very hot in Arizona in the summertime, that people don't do this trail in the summer. They do it in either the spring or the fall. So I'll be doing it in the spring. But the challenge is, you go too early and there's snow all over the place in northern Arizona, especially on the north and south rims of the canyon. But if you go too late, you might miss the snow, but then the southern portions are just unbearably hot. So I'll be interested to see if my start time and the weather cooperates and I have a good experience. I know that right now in Arizona they're saying that it's been in a bit of a drought for a number of months now. They've only really had one snowfall so far this winter, about 6 inches. So that's below normal by a considerable amount. There's a whole network of people they call trail angels that support the hikers on the trail. They'll leave caches of water and jugs at various locations for people to refill their water in case the creeks and the reservoirs are running dry. Anyways, back to the trail. After the Grand Canyon, and you head up on the north rim and then head over to the Utah border from there. It's, I think, about a 3 or 4 day hike from the north rim to the Utah border. Once I get there, my plan is to arrange for a pickup to get over to St. George, Utah, and from there take a bus into Las Vegas and fly home. So that's the plan. I'll be really excited to share video with you, and I'm also planning to be putting up some written blogs if you prefer. If you prefer more reading format with photos, I'll be posting those on the trek.co as part of their network of bloggers who are hiking long trails this year. So yeah, look me up there. I mentioned that on the weekdays I'm just trying to get lots of steps in, lots of walking in. I'm doing a little bit more than that, actually. I have the advantage of having a nice gym close to my home, and so I got a bit of a program over there to strengthen joints and stability and things like that. But on the weekends, Saturdays especially, it's the day I try and put in some elevation gain. And unfortunately, because of the snow, you cannot see where I get that training. Just down at the end of this road is a big hill. Actually, we call it Dome Mountain. And it puts you up about 800 feet over the course of about 3 miles. So it's pretty good gain. So I've been doing that every Saturday and trying to get a little bit of speed on it to keep pushing myself. It's amazing how different the weather feels based on if you're walking into the wind or away from the wind. When I started recording, I was walking west and it was lovely. It's like the best weather I've seen in weeks. Now that I'm walking east into the wind, oh my goodness. Switched over to a road walk for a bit. Just gonna head down to the fence line, walk up there. Right now, I'm trying to put in a good 6 or 7 miles of walking each day. I'm gonna try and keep that up for February. And then in March, ramp it up to closer to 8 or 9. And today is a Friday, so I've also planned to work in some nice vertical, because unfortunately right where my house is, we're kind of on a sandy flat. There isn't a whole lot of elevation gain, and with the Sky Islands in Arizona being what they are, I do need to get my legs into gear for climbing up and down some pretty good sized hills. I guess as the walk goes on, you get to watch the ice build in my mustache and beard. One of the fun parts about hiking in the snow. Check this out. Ice on the eyelashes. It was actually locking my eye shut a minute ago. So I got finished my gym workout. Now I'm doing some more steps outside on our multi-use trail. Check this out. Yeah, it used to be the access road to this place, and then they shut it down and rerouted it. So now it's used by everybody, without a car anyways. Snowmobiles, quads, side-by-sides, bicycles, and lowly pedestrians like myself. So this is what the forest of Labrador looks like. You can see it's not your typical deep boreal forest you'd picture in Canada. We're pretty far north here, and the weather patterns mean that this is actually verging on the subarctic. So our forests are pretty sparse, mostly black spruce, the odd birch tree, and the black spruce don't get too big because the ground is pretty swampy, not very nutrient rich, and the snow is usually ridiculously deep here. I say usually because I've been here for 3 winters now, and I managed to luck into 3 of the lowest snowfall years in their history. So the fact that this is February and I'm walking on maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow is unusual, to say the least.